Now we're going to talk about communicating with professors and also just in general communicating in professional environments, because it's really important that you communicate well. And we communicate in all kinds of different ways. We communicate in many different ways. Like one of the ways we communicate is in writing. So we'll send emails and or we'll write papers. Another way that we communicate is like by speaking. So that's another way we communicate. I'm just trying to think of different ways we communicate. And then another way we communicate is just by our nonverbal communication. How do we present ourselves without even saying something? Or what kind of message are we sending to people when we are saying something? What message is being sent nonverbally? And so part of that communication is not only what I'm saying, but also, how do I look and what do I convey? Am I dressed professionally? And so you want to think about how you're communicating with others and how you're signaling others. So this is known as signaling in psychology. You're psychologically signaling people. You're telling people something about you. By me showing up and being dressed in this way, I'm telling you something about me. Like I could be here with a baseball cap on and a t-shirt, and when I was younger, sometimes I would do professional things in that way because I just thought, hey, I'm a young guy, I'm kind of cool. And that was the story I told myself, and that was the way I dressed. But as I continued to progress through my career professionally, I realized it's really important to always show up in a professional manner and to signal to people, I'm professional. I'm professional. I'm a professional. I treat my job with respect. I treat my customers, my students with respect. I do my job well. If you hire me and you need me to do a job, I'm professional. You can count on me. If I give you my word, you can count on it. I will keep it, right? I'm a professional. I will always be straight. I will have integrity. I'm a professional. And I signal that and I convey that with my dress, and also with what I say, and also with how I say it. So you want to think about how you're communicating and what kind of a message are you sending to people, both literally, the content that you're sending, and also the form, right? How you're sending it. And so you could send the exact same content with different form. And so I could say something to you like the way I've been saying stuff to you with passion and enthusiasm, energy, excitement, all these things which, generally speaking, come natural for me most of the time. I don't talk at the dinner table with my family like this, but when I'm teaching, it's like, I know I get excited and I know that this excitement helps people learn it and I convey it with enthusiasm. And so I teach in this way, and the content is what I'm saying, right? It's the actual content of what I'm saying. It's the words that I'm conveying to you, but then there's the form, and the form is how I'm saying it, And I could say it. I've had professors. I had a professor as an undergraduate one time, and he was like not good at all. He was very unskillful, very unprofessional, and not good at communicating. He was a horrible communicator. That's the way I want to say it. He was a horrible communicator. He was boring, he was droll, he was dry. He would read his notes in monotone. And the entire effect was quite soporific, which means it was tending to induce sleep, soporific. And he wasn't good at communicating. And so his form, even though his content might have been great, he was a professor at UCLA, but his form was awful. It was horrible. He didn't know how to convey it. So you want to think about, how do I communicate with people? And in particular, in this lecture video here, what we're going to talk about is how do you communicate with people in writing? And so there's no longer any excuse to not always send great written communications to people, because you have ChatGPT, you have Grok, you have Gemini, you have Copilot, you have Claude. You could use these large language model chatbots to write your communications for you. You could co-create and collaborate with these AI machines, and then once they produce some output, you could take that output, you could tailor it, you could adjust it, you could make sure it's, your own, and that you give it your stamp of approval, your seal of approval before you send it off with your name on it, that you've actually read through it and you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. So to demonstrate how to do that, right, you could come over to ChatGPT. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. And here at ChatGPT, I could say, this is an example for class. Please write an email. In this example, I'm a student. In this example, I am a student at an undergraduate university like UCLA. I need to write a letter, an email to my professor. And I'll say Albert Boym, Dr. Albert Boym. He was actually one of my professors. He is great. Dr. Albert Boym. I don't see how to spell his name. Dr. Albert Boym. Dr. Albert Boym, yep, B-O-I-M-E, B-O-I-M-E, that I have a question about the paper on art history. I am wondering if I can do my paper on art in advertising over the last decade. Please let me know if this is an acceptable topic. Also, if you have any input on how I might focus this topic, I'd love to hear it. As always, I greatly appreciate your class and your teachings. I'm really loving the course and the enthusiasm that you bring to art history. It's made it a lot of, your teaching makes class a lot of fun. Your teaching makes the class a lot of fun. All that is true. And so you can put that in, and by just including a warm touch and some note of appreciation, that is engaging what is known as psychologists call the reciprocity principle. And that means the more you help somebody or the more you do something nice for somebody, the more they're likely to do something nice for you. So you can see this email gave me a subject, question about paper topic. And you can see, Dear Dr. Boehm, it's a professional salutation. I hope this message finds you well. Remove this. Always remove that, because all AI or a lot of AI generated messages start with, I hope this message finds you well. Delete that out of there. You could just start with, I'm writing with a question about the paper for our art history class. I was wondering if I might focus my paper on the role of art in advertising over the last decade. Would this be an acceptable topic? If so, I'd also welcome any input you might have on how I could narrow or focus the topic further. I want to make sure my approach aligns well with the goals of the assignment. As always, I greatly appreciate your class and your teachings. I'm really enjoying the course, and your enthusiasm for art history makes the subject engaging and fun. Thank you for your time and guidance. Best regards, Todd McLeod. If I was a professor, I am a professor. As a professor, if I received this email from a student, I'm gonna be like, wow, that's great. This student's really on point. This is a really well-written email. It's a professional email. It's respectful. It gives a nod of appreciation and gratitude towards the course, and it inspires within me the desire to respond in a professional manner and respond with more care, and to provide a little bit more attention to this student, because this student is obviously taking efforts to do a good job. So I am going to take efforts to help the student along and help this student succeed, because I could see this student is really in this game to win it and to do a good job and to accomplish things well. So that is how you can use AI to help you draft professional emails and other professional content. When you're communicating with other people, it's a really powerful tool, and there are no excuses anymore to not write professional emails to people and to present yourself in that way and to signal to people that you want to do a great job. And you are somebody that when there is a job, you want to signal to people in power above you as you're going through the world. You want to signal to them that you're somebody to be cultivated. You're somebody who could be brought in and groomed and tailored to do amazing things. And you want to be introduced like, hey, here's a great student. They show a lot of promise. I know they could get a lot of great things done. Maybe you should consider bringing them into your organizations. One of my best students right here, right? Like that stuff happens. And so you want to signal to everybody that that's the case. Now, as your student, you probably don't want to, you could show up in a shirt and tie like this, but a button-up shirt, getting used to wearing a button-up shirt, that's really nice. And you could just, not have it buttoned all the way, but look professional for a student, right? Look professional for a student. Don't be slovenly, and don't send junky, crappy. That's the word that comes to mind. Don't send crappy emails. Like I get emails from students who are like, hey, what am I supposed to do on that assignment? What assignment? What class? Like, who are you? Right? And it's like, I look at their email, I'm like, I don't know who this is. I don't know what class they're in. I don't know what assignment they're talking about. Who are you? What class? Question mark. You want to be professional, and you want to signal to people that you're going to do great in life and that you should be introduced to amazing opportunities. All right, so you can pause the video right here and you could read through the notes right there. And then you could pause the video right here and you could read through the notes right there. And then that's it. That's the rest of the notes. Good communication isn't just about getting answers. It's about building relationships that can shape your entire college journey and your life. I'm going to add that in here, and your life. All right. That's writing, great communication, keeping it professional, and making it wonderful And I'm glad I paused a little bit here at the end because I looked this up on Amazon. I also wanted to show this to you. So thank you cards, 48 for 10 bucks. That's like 20 cents. See, 20 cents a card right there. It's 20 cents a thank you card. 20 cents, that's nothing, right? But keep these thank you cards. And like if a tutor helps you, if your professor answers a question after class for you or during office hours, you could write a quick thank you. Hey, thanks for your help during office hours. Greatly appreciate it. Todd, right? And you could go into the division or the department office, or you could find the mailbox for that professor. You could slide it under their office door or pin it to their office corkboard on their door. Like different universities have different ways to do that. But you could get that thank you card to your professor, or just hand it to them after class. Say, hey, thanks. Appreciated you helping me in office hours the other day. I just wanted to acknowledge that. Appreciate you. And you will be doing what most people don't do. And that will help you achieve what most people don't achieve. So you can just keep these in your backpack. And anytime it's just like, it takes you less than a minute. Write a quick thank you note. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. You will so stand out. It's so easy, right? 20 cents. 4 minutes. And if you like struggle, like I know people who struggle even just writing a thank you card, they're like, I don't know what to say. Like ask ChatGPT, like, hey, my professor helped me during office hours. What can I say to them? And then ChatGPT will produce an answer for you, and you can just copy that and write that out. All right, so that is keeping it professional and creating amazing communications to help you move forward in life.